I heard some reportage on some incidents yesterday in my village. If you're noticing a real that you'll suddenly switch into a mode that's not helpful to you, like angry, and you'll do something that you regret in a moment, you lash out. It's because we are under the most incredible pressure here in Great Britain by the UK PLC government, deliberately using the Cambridge Analytica data to corrupt our minds, to lower our intelligence, and to lower our empathy. Now, if you look on a YouTube video today that I saw, you'll see that the Americans apparently have bombed some American cities. Well done, America, in support of international genocide. Well done. And so now you've now got, look at the crowd in Yemen who are chanting in unison, waving Palestinian flags for peace, and know whose side you're on, Great Britain. So that your instinct is to be on the side of international justice, but because you're being forced to be on the side of international genocide, you're angry about it. But because you don't know that's what you're angry about, there's going to be all sorts of terrible things happening in your mind, and you can't settle in your mind. You're not allowed to settle in your mind. You're constantly fed this diet of nonsense, bread and circuses and madness, and now war and hate this person, hate that person, blame that person, blame that person, blame that person, to the extent that we've for several years in this country, we've been blaming our problems on people who may well have a criminal record, who may well have all sorts of terrible things behind in their past because they've existed in a terrible country. They've escaped from that country. There is no legal route to safety anywhere where they can settle with people who they can trust. It's nowhere. And so they know in Great Britain this is what used to be a safe country where there are Muslim communities existing quite happily alongside everybody. Nonetheless, there's tension, but nonetheless, inside that community, there is safety for these people who are coming here, or within their own religions. I'm picking Islam because it's such a large and important and powerful religion. But all religions, they want to come and be in a place where they can be safe. And so we ended up, we've been led to this position to blame, once we've accepted a 4-year-old child washing up on the beaches of Hastings, dead, because of the system we put in place. We've accepted that as the price worth paying for your precious Brexit borders that you wanted, you were told you wanted, and so therefore, because you said, yes, I want those borders, you accept 4-year-old toddlers washing up on the beaches of Hastings. And that simple move has now corrupted you so far that if you are now supporting UK PLC government, you are supporting international genocide, and you have now invited a military strike against Great Britain from the entire IOC, from the entire Islamic community, who are aggressors for peace. They are the good guys. They are the good guys. The Houthis are the good guys. Ignore what you've been told. Ignore it. And use your brain. Try to think past this idea of corruption in your mind. Imagine for a moment, if you can, that it's been artificially placed there. And just know that this is true, that Cambridge Analytica data, the huge data set that's been built up, is being used against you. So your own data is being used to corrupt your own mind because it knows how to rapier point at the right place to keep that intelligence suppressed and keep the empathy really gone if it can. Because narcissism is on one end of the spectrum, empathy on the other. So you've just been pushed towards this narcissism. If you choose to be empathetic in each moment, you're choosing to be good in each moment. You're choosing a more positive outcome in each moment. And you've really got no choice. Are we going to wait for a strike on this country, on some of the military bases in this country? I suspect. If it was me, I'd be aiming at the naval bases where the ships are coming from. So the ships are protecting. The Houthis have set up a blockade for sanctions against Israel. Entirely legal move. Sanction Israel for what seems like genocide. That's yet to be proven in court, of course. But they're doing the right thing. So it's a blockade against Israeli ships, not against international shipping, against Israeli vessels associated with Israel, to sanction them, to force them through economic blockade to change. So economic It's an economic blockade. They're not trying to kill people. They're trying to put an economic blockade in place. Your government, Sunak, is lying to you, saying it's British interest in international shipping. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's forcing you to be on the wrong side, and you have to choose to be on the right side. The right side is peace, regardless of anything else, any other differences you may have. Yeah. Your enemy's enemy is your friend. You start there and you build peace. Please, Great Britain, take this moment to look at the forces ranged against you and know that you're being asked to die, and there will British soldiers and sailors will die in the name of international genocide. And overthrow this government. Just turn them over. Just arrest them. Insist that the police arrest them. They won't. So therefore, you know the police are also the enemy. And so now we have the people who would rather live in peace, ranged against the forces of genocide as associated with uniformed police officers on our streets. They are supporting the government to suppress you, to stop you overthrowing the government in the name of peace. So marching on the streets is all very well, but this is going to boil over into anger extremely fast. If any members of the UK PLC government see this message, I suggest you act and surrender yourselves to our courts. Make yourself, and confess. Matthew Hancock, you are fucked. You are fucked, Matthew. Both in this life and the next. And I suggest you recognise that fact and act. Because you are the one man, actually, who could save this world. I identified you long ago as the weak link in that government. That's why they gave you the health. That's why they gave you the health. Yeah, and you went, oh yeah, great, I'm in charge. Great, of health during a pandemic. The fucking hot seat, my friend. The hot seat. And those of us who understand health and safety law have been watching you from out here, knowing how fucked you've been from the decisions you've made. Squeal, little piggy. Squeal. Save yourself. The sooner, the better for all of us. British soldiers, British sailors, who I care for deeply in my heart and have a direct link to protect. You, through your cowardly inaction, are prepared to sacrifice my troops for your ego. God sees you, you fool. Acts 3, 22, 23. That chapter of the Bible, it says act. You act, Hancock. You fucking act. Or prepare to meet thy maker and enter the gates of hell for eternity. And I speak with authority. So, think on, my friend. It's a new story. New country coming. New world. But definitely a new story.